Like, what are some of the things that you do during a month-long session that kind of just keeps the band excited, fresh, moving forward?
Well, I definitely I have targets every day, and I usually figure those targets out. There'll be kind of an overall target
Mm.
where I need to get this done by X date,
Yeah.
Then there'll be daily targets where the target is to get the majority of this song tracked, the music part of it tracked, maybe even get a vocal if possible. So by having that target, and that's a target that I'll set in a way for myself.
Mm.
I may or may not discuss that target with the artist, but it causes me to push to where we stay on target to get what we need to get done
Yeah.
by 10 o'clock or whatever, by the end of the day. Usually we hit the target or go beyond it. We'll get the majority of the song done, if not the whole song, and get it in a good place where then we can hear it the next morning and have some good perspective to have a fresh listen, and then we can do some additional bits to it and then get on to another one and keep going. And I think by doing that, by having clear targets, and usually I'll establish maybe the night before or the morning of, I might mention something like, hey, I'd like to dig into this song X. I'd
Yeah.
like to dig into that and get pretty deep with it. The morning before, I'll wake up, have breakfast, I'll be listening to things. I'll make some sort of decision like, okay, I feel like we can get everything, all instruments up to blah, blah, blah done. And then that'll be my target. And then so I'm pushing everybody. I'm pushing myself. I'm pushing just the whole team, the artists, everyone to just like, let's keep moving. Let's keep the momentum. And I think by having that target, it causes us to not have slumps.
Yeah.
And get too fixated on minutia that is really insignificant to the target. Some things we can come back to,
Yeah.
There's some things where if I feel like we're getting bogged down, we could, and it's possible to come back to it like later on, almost just like, let's just step out of that, focus our attention on something else,
Yeah.
and then get back moving, and then we can revisit that later in the day or the next day, and it'd be a much quicker cycle to do that.
Very cool. So is that a good, like a pretty average pace for you, a song-ish a day for when you're working? I guess it depends on the artist, but
Yeah, it depends on the artist, but yeah, I would say, yeah, song a day for, for like the main stuff.
yeah.
And then usually the kind of fun, tweaky stuff, the overdub stuff, that could take a half day. And again, like it depends on what we're talking about here, like the type of music we're doing, the artist. Can the artist work at a pace like that? Some can, some not, and that's fine too.
Yeah.
Sometimes for the more electronic leaning projects that I do, sometimes the a song a day is not realistic because there's so much sound design and just building kind of just the sonic world of the thing, and so it takes a bit longer.
Yeah.
But if it's a band and everyone's focused, yeah, we can get a lot done in a day.
A lot of people they'll start a record and they'll do drums this week. This week we're doing drums, but I feel like the way that you're talking, the song by song approach, I feel like that probably allows each song to be the character of that song. Is that part of the reason you do it? So that like, hey, the drums have to be like this for this song? Because I feel like if you just did drums to a couple demo guitars and some clicks and stuff like that, you might have a cohesiveness that is wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't like. I've done that before because I've had to, where we were for whatever reason we were in situations where we had to hire a bring in a session drummer, and we only had this person for 2 days. So I don't love that,
Yeah.
but 99% of what I do, yeah, I'm doing it song by song, so I can set everything up to be based around that song,
Yeah.
and it's custom for that song. I don't like doing a week of drums and then a week of bass and then a week of then guitars for 2 weeks and synths for a week, whatever. That doesn't really I like doing it song by song. I like getting vocals done sooner than later. You know, the vocals are obviously a very important piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
So I like getting vocals done on the earlier side of the whole of whatever time we have, just so I know we've got some extra time in case we need to go back and, you know, do another pass at something or drop in on some bits, maybe some lyrics change after living with it. I don't know, but I like having a little bit of time. I don't like saving vocals to the very end.